And here we are back, episode 42 of To Hell with the Podcast. I'm Tim, I'm here with Daryl, and this is where most of the time we talk all things Striper related or side project related. But Daryl, how are you today?
I'm doing wonderful, man. I'm always happy when I get to crack the mic and talk about whatever the heck we're talking about today. So yeah, I'm very excited about this particular topic because I've been jamming this thing in my ears all day, and I am seriously, man. I'm very excited to talk about this record, and I you know I'm always really stoked to get on this and talk about whatever we're talking about with you. So yeah, always happy to do the podcast.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about the first album not too long ago, but what we have in store for you today, as Daryl said, we are dropping Talking Iconic. That is a lineup that features Michael Sweet as the guitarist, not the singer, but the guitarist. If you have not heard of Iconic before, or if you didn't hear us talking about Iconic before, Michael Sweet is in the band, but he is the guitarist or one of the guitarists in this group. And that's what we're going to be focusing on today. We're going to be breaking down their latest album, which dropped just a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, this thing is stacked. I was making my notes and I was like, man, this thing it's getting pretty long. So I love digging into personnel because we've only done like they dropped a few singles before they dropped the record because everybody does that now. But since they dropped the entire record, I figured I would kind of go digging into, and we all know a lot of the personnel on here already, but there were a couple of dudes that I didn't know a lot about. So I started digging into it. So yeah, I'm excited to talk about this because there's some stuff that I didn't know and I like learning things.
Yeah, it's interesting that you bring that up about how they dropped a few singles before the album actually came out, because even I think it was maybe 3 or maybe even 4 singles that they dropped before the album. And right now, if you look at it, Stryper's got their album slated to come out September 25th, and we're still a good month and a half away, and 3 singles have already been dropped from that album, and we're still a month and a half away. And that is such a change from yesteryear when it was like a song would drop and then the rest of them came out after the album came out. But it's a different world that we live in with streaming and immediate access, no record. Just the way music is done today.
Well, even if you talk to I can't remember. I think it might have even been Nikki Sixx was saying there's no reason to release a full-length record just from a cost perspective. It's like it's so much cheaper to release 3 singles at a time and then drop a record. Just think about it. You were saying that the yesteryear, how much money it costs to like package and market and all that kind of stuff. It's like there's no way you would do that today. It's not, from a cost perspective, it doesn't make any sense anymore. So yeah,
and Michael Sweet actually even touched on because I read that earlier today about what Nikki Sixx had said, and not that Michael Sweet took him to task, but it was just, let me find it. Yeah. Nikki Sixx says, "Don't hold your breath for a new Crew album. He doesn't believe in full-length records anymore."
Okay, gotcha.
And so what Michael Sweet said was, when I hear other musicians talk like this, I scratch my head. It's actually sad to see. You should never, ever lose the desire to make music. You don't do it for the airplay. You don't do it for the money. You don't do it for the cheers. You do it because it's part of your soul, part of your DNA. It's what you were born to do. This is why Stryper has 17 studio albums, 18 coming on 9/25, why I have 11 solo albums, as well as 8 side project albums, all full length. I'll never lose the desire to create and make music. The more I can express myself and help others in the process, the better. I'd love to make it to 50 full length albums, Lord willing. I'll never forget why I started doing this in the first place, for the love of it. And but yeah, it went on, and then the other part of it said, "Is the album dead in rock and roll?" And then there was some kind of full story. I don't know who originally posted this, but it's been, according to this, 18 years since Crew's last album. So that would have been '08, but they've been on
So,
tour quite a bit.
well, yeah, they've been touring,
And I guess
taking
that's the
out.
thing. Yeah. I guess that's the thing. When I think about albums, and I mean, I want to hear new music, but I mean, I don't really think Nikki Six can really say a whole lot when one of the songs that you recently released, and I know I've said this before, but one of the songs you recently released was a cover of Fight for Your Right to Party. I mean, they're not even making new music, they're doing covers of music. And it's just sad.
Now, Crew's got no reason. They have no right to talk about anything as far as we're just cashing checks. So I don't want to hear any more from them. I kind of I kind of feel bad for John Five because I think he got into it with good intentions, and he's a really good addition to that band since they had to whatever happened with Mick Mars, but he can do all the things that Motley Crue needs him to do. But I wonder what he thinks now that he's been into this band for a minute, and it's like, oh man,
What did I get myself into?
we're not. He's not in the Motley Crue that I think he thought he was getting into when he joined. That's just maybe what I think, but
Yeah, I'd agree with you. I
but
mean, it's
because he's such a, I mean, he's a powerhouse, dude. If you can watch him like just doing his solo stuff, he will blow you away. And he can do he can do the Motley Crue stuff kind of in his sleep, but he does a lot more complicated stuff. And I mean, you don't know what instrument he's going to come out on stage with if you go see him solo. He might walk out with a banjo or a freaking My Little Pony acoustic guitar. You have no idea. I mean, he's a freak, dude. But yeah, I wonder how it's going with that guy. But yeah, they're just cashing checks, and that's unfortunate. So,
yeah,
but yeah,
I know. And I don't put a lot of credibility into what he said just because it's like, one, all the challenges that they've had within the band itself, but two, it's I think people do want to hear new music from the bands that they've always loved.
if if you can put out quality new music, yes, I think the fans do want to hear that stuff. I mean, if you can't, which is what we're looking at, I mean, with the Crew, I mean, because we have all seen, you know, on the internet what they've been putting out and what they sound like. It's like, okay, if you can't do that, then we don't want to see that. But if you can still put out good quality music, then yeah, I want to see it. So yeah, it's just what it's like we talk about with Striper all the time. What's the bar? Is the bar still where the bar is supposed to be? Okay, cool. Let's see it. If it's not there anymore, then what are we talking about?
I know, why are you doing it? And and as I just said a moment ago, I mean, they don't have a high bar over in the Crew camp, because if we are going to put out new music, we're going to put out a cover of the Beastie Boys song that, you
That's
know, most of
that's
our fans can't even relate to. And
it's well, that's kind of insulting, to be honest,
yeah,
to the
I mean,
fan.
it just,
To
you know, because I mean, the thing is, and we've talked about this quite a bit on here, is, I want music that, it's not just about the music, but that it's relatable to me, and I want to be able to, feel it and all that other kind of good stuff. But you put out that song and your fan base is 40 and up, 50 and up for the most part, I don't have to fight anymore for my right if I want to go out and, I mean, it was just so stupid. It's just like, seriously?
yeah,
I just, it
yeah, we're
just,
in our 50s. We don't have to fight for our right to party anymore.
if I want to go out, I'll go out. I don't have to talk to
That's
my mom
funny.
and dad. I'm not arguing with my teachers. I mean, it just was so stupid that they did that song. It's just
That's
like,
funny.
I mean, they already have the issues with him as the lead singer and what he sounds like on stage. And then they go and pull a stunt like that. It just made it even worse for them, in my opinion, than it took them to, like, hey, there's something that, you can actually salvage from this band at this point. It just felt to me, it just like it took it a notch lower. And I'm just like, oh, this is ridiculous.
Yeah. No, they need a they need a win somewhere. I'm not sure where it's coming from, but, yeah, I'm not sure. Motley's taken a lot of hits lately.
I know. But today is Monday, August 10th, when
Yes,
we're
it is.
recording this. And today was Duran. And yeah, I know.
Hard right.
Let's go off. Okay, we're going on a hard right because this was a band I listened to a lot back in the day. And it's
We both
and
did.
they are on our bucket list to go
They
see
are.
whenever they do tour. But tell me a little bit about, do you know how it became to be Duran Duran Day? Who declared it Double D Day? I should.
I'm talking completely out of my behind here. I think it was a fan club thing,
Okay.
and I think it started let's see, it's 2026. I think it started back in the aughts. I'd have to look it up, but I think it was a fan club thing, but I remember SiriusXM used to have a channel called Volume, and so one of the shows, the morning show, there was a lady on there called her name was Lori Majewski, and she was friends with, a couple of the Taylor God, so many Taylors, and none of them were related. So
I know
she
that's what's
was
crazy.
she was friends with, Roger and, the
Andy?
drummer, Andy, yes. So, but she would have them on every day, every time it was Duran Appreciation Day. So it was just like a thing that was always on for, like, 3 or 4 years. I was like, "All right, cool." But, but I always remembered when it was Duran Appreciation Day. So, I think it was a fan club thing that she was involved with or something or whatever, whatever. So, but yeah, it just always like popped up in my feed somewhere. So I guess I don't know. Anyway,
So I
I've,
did a quick
I've,
research on it.
okay, let's go.
And this is just quick. So it says Duran Duran Appreciation Day was created by an unnamed Michigan radio disc jockey who chose the date because it was his birthday. The observance gained wider public traction in 2003 when it was promoted by YM Magazine. So the origins, it goes on to say, a Michigan DJ. It spread, like you said, in the early aughts. And then global fan recognition, communities celebrate online via trivia, virtual parties, and band retrospectives. Yeah, because
There
what
you
was
go.
that? What channel was it on? Was it Prime or Netflix that had the Duran Duran documentary?
I think it was Netflix. I
Because I
don't.
did watch that. Did you watch that?
Yeah, I did watch it. Yeah, that was.
Because yeah, there's one on Netflix.
Yeah, I was cleaning the house like, and I had Spotify popping the "This is Duran Duran" playlist today. And I was like, man, I don't care what anybody says. I know they're like kind of that. They're not metal. I get it. Whatever, whatever. But they were, man, that rhythm section, freaking Roger Taylor and Andy Taylor, they were funky, dude. I mean, seriously, Roger Taylor's bass playing was really, really nice, and it
Yeah, I
looked like
thought.
it, and he made it look easy.
Okay, so now you got me questioning.
What?
Andy Taylor was the guitarist.
I thought.
Roger was
Wait, which was the? I
Nick
get the
Rhodes, I
Taylors
think
mixed up.
was Nick Rhodes
Nick Rhodes
was
was
the
a keyboard
bassist.
player.
Okay, Nick Rhodes was the keyboard.
I get the Taylors confused.
So current members. Okay, Nick Rhodes, you're right. Keyboards. John Taylor was bass.
John Taylor, okay. And then Roger
Roger
Taylor
Taylor
was
was drums.
drums, and then Andy was
And then Andy Taylor was a guitarist.
guitar player. There's too
And then,
many
of course,
Taylors.
I know, think about it. John, Roger, and Andy, and none of them are related.
And none of them are related. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, because I mean,
We should have made them change their names or something.
Because Andy Taylor, he actually did a few solo songs.
He went out and did some stuff.
And then I remember he was also like a guest guitarist on a couple of pop songs back in the 80s for some people back then, showed up in their videos and stuff. But yeah, Roger and John is who the rhythm section is.
Yeah. But man, the just the bass lines in those songs, because when I was basically, like I say, I was just cleaning the house today, and I was like, hey Alexa, play some Duran Duran, and it was just like, doom, 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 ticka, doom, ticka.
Now, what's your favorite by them? Like your favorite song?
Oh man, I knew this was going to come up, and as I listened for like an hour, and when it was like, holy crap, the James Bond song came on. It's like
View to Kill, yeah.
View to Kill, that song, pow, boom. I mean, and the other thing, like, I wasn't like a big keyboard fan when I was like back in the day when I was listening to him, and Nick Rhodes was doing that. It was like percussive keyboards, and I was like, dang, that sounds awesome. I love Save Your Prayers. It's going to be one of my favorite songs like ever, because it's just so smooth. I love the Reflex and I love the Wild Boys. There's a bunch, dude, but those are the ones that come off the top of my head. But yeah, I mean, they have a huge catalog. So I mean,
they do. I mean, they've got just like everybody else. I mean, a lot of other people from the 80s, I mean, they've continued putting albums out throughout the years.
Yeah, even their newer stuff. I mean, Notorious, and that's 20 years old at this point, I think.
Yeah, Notorious is actually 40 something years old.
I mean,
that came out in 86. Yeah, that's almost 40 years old. That came out November 24th. November 24th, 1986.
I'm thinking of something else. Crap, not Notorious. Ordinary World?
Ordinary World, that was 92, 93.
Okay, so that's new-ish, but not really.
Because you got something that came out in 2023. You got Future Past, Paper Gods, All You Need Is Now, Red Carpet Massacre, Astronaut, Pop Trash. Those are all they've put out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They've put out 7 albums in the past 26 years.
Goodness gracious. I mean, props.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with you. A lot of those songs that you mentioned, but I think probably my favorite I would probably say my favorite was probably Ordinary World.
It's a great song. I mean, it's really pretty. I mean, and all the strings and stuff in the back. I mean, there's a lot going on there. So yeah, it's a well put together song. But yeah, they have so much stuff.
Well, I know they've got so much stuff. I mean, like you said, like
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, man. I mean, they actually got that one right. So,
and you got, like you said, Notorious. You've got Wild Boys, Hungry Like the Wolf, Rio.
Rio was a kind of controversial kind of thing,
and MTV really put them on the map. I mean, you think about it. MTV started in 81. Rio came out in 82. So that's I would say that's probably what put them on the map over here in the States.
Well, I mean, when they did that first video for Rio, that was a big one because there was like naked chicks in it, and they had to re-edit it for the States, but they put it out over in Europe, and they had the naked chicks.
I thought that was Girls on Film.
Well, they had two. Well, they had that one, but was it the Playboy Channel aired Rio? I think was what it was. But Yeah, they had the first couple videos, they were making some noise because they had some scantily clad chicks on those
Yes.
first couple, but
Can we say chicks? Is it okay? And not
I don't
2026
give
to
a sh
say
dude, I'm
chicks?
55, I could give a so, anyway,
All right.
anyway, it's Duran Duran Day, so yeah, we're fans, who cares?
Yes. And we will see them when they come through.
Hopefully, yes, someday. So, anyway, onto the
Just a
metal.
couple of weeks ago, iconic album dropped.
You got it.
Yep. I got it. Love the back picture. I know
That's
you're getting a
nice.
little glare from my computer on it, but
Very
it's
rock
really,
star.
it's again, I mean, if this is the first time you're doing it, this is or listening to us, or you missed the episode where we talked about their first album. I mean, iconic is made up of Nathan James on vocals, Joel Hoekstra guitars, Marco Mendoza on bass, one of your favorites, Tommy Aldridge on drums, and then of course Michael Sweet. He's on the guitars. Now, this time, I know on the first album, I heard them on a couple of songs going back and forth. They didn't do that on this album, did they? It was primarily Nathan James. I don't remember as I was listening to it.
Okay, we can talk about that.
So I could be wrong, but and and if you wonder how involved Michael Sweet was on this album, and I haven't really listened to any interviews or watched anything, but I will say there's 11 songs on this album. He was a co-writer on 9 of them. And of course, you look at the produced by Aldo Lonenbile, something like that, and your very own Michael Sweet. So he was involved in this album far beyond the guitars, but iconic.
So let me just say, uh, I've probably listened to this thing like 6 times in the past couple days, and I really dug when we were listening to, like, the first 3 songs that came off of this thing when we did the last pod. I don't remember enjoying a record, like, as a whole, like, more than I've enjoyed this one in the past, like, probably 3 years.
Really?
Yeah, for this type of music, it really hit me, and as I was listening to it, and I don't wanna give everything away, like, right up front, but yeah, it really did. It was like a total package kinda thing to me, and that's kinda where I'll sit for a second, but this thing was really surprising, but not, and the
What do you
more I
mean when you say total package? What are you meaning by total package?
so, I had kind of an expectation for for going into this, what I thought it was gonna be. I was like, "Okay, here's the players. Here's what I think this is gonna sound like." And it did sound like everything that I was expecting, but it was it was above my expectations. So, when I started looking at the personnel, and I'm gonna shut up here in a second because 'cause I'm gonna give everything away. When I started looking at everything, it let me just say it really did exceed my expectations, and we can dig more into that, but, when I when I went through all my details and when I dissected everything, I was like, "Well, yeah, no crap. It should have exceeded your expectations because here's all the things that you're like, yeah, here's everybody that's on this record." It's like, "Yeah, dummy. It should have exceeded your expectations." So, yeah, we can talk more about this, but yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways,
What's your you've listened to it a few times more than I have so far. What was your favorite song on the album? Is there
my
one that
favorite
stands
song
out about the others?
my favorite song without a doubt is "Take Me to the Place." It's just like it's heavy. It doesn't stop. Tommy Aldridge is just in the freaking pocket. I don't know, man. There's just nothing I can say bad about this song. And then when you get to the end, Tammy Aldridge is just like, hold my beer. And then he just goes to freaking town on that last 4 bars, 8 bars. And it's melodic. I mean, excuse me. I mean, there's like 3-part harmonies on this thing, and it is just a really well crafted song. And it's just the chorus drops into this weird minor thing, and I'm just like, what are you guys doing? And it just does a lot of stuff. And I don't have a lot of explanation for it. It's just a really well crafted song. And there's that. So yeah, I mean, I had a really fun time listening to this song. But yeah, I mean, the drums for me are a big thing for me, because Aldridge is just kicking on this song, dude. Especially at the end, like I say, at the end. But I mean, I didn't really have a skipper on this thing, which was, while I say, when I put this thing on as a whole, I was really, really surprised, because the more I listened to it, I was just like, man, I didn't have a lot of bad things to say. Did you have like one that popped out to you?
There were a couple. I will say this. I do agree with you, not only on this song, but just on the songs in general, the harmonies, the background vocals, and not saying that it was because Michael Sweet's in the background, but everything just, their harmonies as a band, to me, were some of the best that I've heard in a long time.
Well, listen to this right here. So, one of the other things, not to cut you off, but so when we talk about Striker, they'll do like the whole solo will be like Oz and Mike together. So one of the things that's cool about this collaboration with Hoekstra and Sweet is that, okay, I'm gonna do my thing for like 4 bars, and then they'll like do like this weird thing where they'll do like a solo together for like 4 bars, and then Hoekstra will take the rest of the solo. I thought that was cool, because it's not Striperish. So they'll like, hey, we're gonna pass the baton, and then you're gonna do your thing. And that happens like several times on this record. And I just thought that was kind of spicy. I thought it was kind of cool. So yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, I was just talking about the harmonies, but you asked me if there was a song that kind of stood out for me, and I'm kind of the lyric guy too. So for me, I was listening to the lyrics and I was listening to the music, and sorry, it was my birthday yesterday. I got to have readers now when I'm reading print that small, when you're following along, trying to figure out what it's going to be. But I think one of my standouts, or one of my favorites, was this one. You have the bar. You figure if you just click the bar that it'll play the song, but no, I actually have to hit the play button for it to play. But Nothing Left for Me. This is one that I really like. And yeah, this is one that kind of stood out to me, because if you've got the album, this is the first song on the second side. So it splits up. For those of you that follow the sequence of things, SOS was song number 6. Flip the album. This is the first song on the second side. And this isn't really, it doesn't start off, as a hard rocker, but I love the chorus. I don't want to waste the sense of life. I just want to feel the thrill inside, because sometimes I wonder, there's nothing left for me. Oh no, I don't want to waste the sense of life. I just want to feel the thrill inside. And you think about it, these aren't, you read that, and sometimes, being in my age, being at my age, sometimes you can think that the best part or the things that you want to do, the things that you want to accomplish have passed you. And, being in your early 50s, but here these guys, they're 60s and 70s singing this song. And I want to continue. I want to feel, the sense of the thrill. I mean, I liked it. It's just just continue living no matter what age you are. And maybe it spoke to me a little bit more because my birthday was this weekend, but lyrically, I liked this song. It's one that I listened to a few times.
I see this one hitting you.
So,
yeah, especially right now. That's cool.
So,
yeah, I mean, especially freaking, dude, all these guys are older than us.
I know. Oh, by the way, this is what Zach got me for my birthday.
Nice.
Yeah, yep. And then Luke got me a 30th season Braves t-shirt. Speaking of, so my kids know exactly what I like. So,
once you get to be a certain age, your kids know what you want.
And I didn't say what that was. What my oldest son got me, it was the vinyl Def Leppard Pyromania.
Pyromania.
Yep.
That's awesome, man.
So
yeah,
it was
my kids. Yeah, my vinyl shelf keeps getting bigger. So yeah, and my kids are pretty much nailing it for the past few years. So yeah, I'm not hard to. I'm not hard to shop for anymore.
I know, neither am I, and I found a couple of things in Athens yesterday that I picked up for myself since it was my birthday. So I ended up with 4 new vinyls yesterday. So that was pretty fun.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, but no, that just sidetrack there. But this is, if I was going to say if there was a song that spoke to me the most, it was this one right here. Because, I was getting into the lyrics. What are the songs saying? But I mean, there were other ones that I liked, like Open My Eyes and All I Want. Both of those are songs that, I really enjoyed on the front half of this, on the front half of this album.
Yeah, it was harder to meet. It was harder for me to say what I would kick off of this record. And I really didn't have any skippers. I didn't really dig Valley of the Lost Souls that much, but I didn't hate it. But like I say, I listened to this thing probably for the last 2 days, kind of on a loop. And what I wrote down was and when I was listening to it, I was like, all right, let's dig into this thing. I mean, all right, I know Hoekstra, I know Michael Sweet. I don't know Nathan James. So I don't know Marco Mendoza that well. I know of him. I don't know his career. So I went and did a little research. So Nathan James, UK, The Voice. So obviously the guy can freaking sing. So he was on The Voice in the UK. Lead in Jesus Christ Superstar in the UK. So I couldn't find a really good link, but he was the lead in Jesus Christ Superstar in the UK. And just the freaking just giant whatever Broadway is in the UK. I don't know what that is, but I mean, yeah, just grandiose performance kind of thing. And then, yeah, so I was like, all right. But, if you're listening to the album, obviously the guy's got pipes for days. But, and then Marco Mendoza, I was like, okay, yeah, I know this guy from somewhere. And then I was looking around and I was like, oh, yeah, he's freaking founded the Dead Daisies and played with Thin Lizzy and played with Tommy Aldridge and Whitesnake and Ted Nugent and Blue Murder and Lynch Mob. And I'm just like, okay, all right, cool. I was like, but I guess my point, as I'm rambling, is as I was listening to this, I was thinking about all the players in this band. And I was like, God, this thing is just dripping with experience in with all the players in this band. I was like, Tommy Aldridge is 75 years old. So as I'm a freak, I was like, okay, I went to I went and asked Jarvis. Jarvis is my AI agent. I was like, Jarvis, how is Tommy Aldridge 75 years old and still playing like he plays? So Jarvis came back and he's like, well, Tommy Aldridge does 500 sit-ups a day. He's been sober since 1986, and he doesn't see food as a entertainment thing. He sees it solely as a power source. And I was like, thank you
There you
very much.
go. There you go.
I was like, and and he sets up his kit a certain way so it doesn't stress out his body. It's minimal stress to his body. So he's got this whole freaking I have no idea, but that's that's what my AI told me today.
And let me correct myself on one thing. I said earlier that these guys are in their 60s and 70s doing this song. I forgot Nathan James is actually in his late 30s.
Really? Dang, we'll be seeing him for a while.
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, I didn't realize he was in The Voice. I knew he had been in the Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
Mm-hmm.
I knew he had been in that. He was the lead singer for a band. I don't know if he's still the lead singer for him or not, but Inglorious. But
Yeah, he's still in. I think so. Yes, because that was his
but
main band.
so you have him kind of on the younger spectrum compared to the other guys in this band who could be his father. I mean, I'm not saying they are. I'm not trying to start a
Right.
rumor, but they're old enough to be his parents.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, that's true. That's interesting. I forgot about the Trans Siberian thing. Dang, because all the other dudes in Trans Siberian are pretty freaking old.
Yeah. But I mean,
Wow.
it's just yeah, but yeah, he is from what I saw, he is in his late 30s.
Man, he's got a voice though, man.
Yes, he does. To me his voice is unique. It's different. It's not what you normally, I mean, you other people might say you normally hear, but no, I don't feel like you normally hear his type of voice.
Well, when I was listening back to this and I was trying to it was bugging me a little bit because it wasn't like a Deep Purple or like that really like 70s kind of stuff because I usually don't like that stuff, like, Bad Company or something like that, like old rock, but it wasn't like it also wasn't like mid 80s like White Snake or Warrant or something like that. It was somewhere in the middle. And and I put it in my notes. It was like Striper somewhere mixed with 87 White Snake. And that was just the vocal part of it. And I was cool with that. And so I don't I, I don't know where I landed with that, but that's what I wrote down. So it was just like, but yeah, it just excuse me. It just like hit me where it was like I couldn't find like a lot of bad to talk about on this record. It was just like there's so much experience on this thing, and the mix is great. The production's really well done. I mean, you can hear everything really well, and so yeah, I mean, I was I was really impressed, and I really had every time I listened to this record, I had a really good time doing it. So good on y'all. I mean, yeah, it's a really great record. So
And then you talk about, how you feel that it's mixed with I mean, not Joel Hoekstra, Striper mixed with 87 Whitesnake. Well, that's when Tommy Aldridge joined Whitesnake was in 87, I believe. And and for me personally, I felt like Whitesnake, that album, was their best. And you have two of the band members. I mean, even though Joel Hoekstra didn't go into Whitesnake until 12, 13 years ago, both him and Tommy Aldridge have been a part of Whitesnake at some point in their careers.
well, Aldridge didn't. record that record. He just toured.
Okay, so he didn't record it. Okay.
Yeah, so Ainsley Dunbar was the drummer on that on in the studio version, but Aldridge was the tour drummer.
Okay. Okay.
So Dunbar was in Ozzy's band and then went to Whitesnake to record that record, and then Aldridge went to tour it. So that's a whole that's a whole nother episode.
Yes. Well, that's what you do on Rock Hot Takes.
Yes. I would definitely need a co-host for that one. I need a freaking stenographer for that one.
Yeah, but what else stood out to you musically on this album? Because I'm going to look to you as a music geek to kind of dissect. I don't mean that in a bad way. To dissect some of these things that you heard musically on this album. Because I mean, I can listen to the album and go, yeah, it's a rocker. It sounds like the '80s, and I liked it, but I can't, I'm not going to be the one to go kind of in depth on the sound or transitions or the four bars like you were talking about earlier.
Nah, this was so well. Like, okay, which road do I want to go down? um, well, no, like I was saying before. Well, since this is our Striker podcast, and I've said this a million times, it's really easy to hear who's playing what when we're talking about Striper, and it was like really fun to like, okay, Hoaxer playing this, or Sweet playing this, or who's got the overlap on this piece, and then they're playing this 8 bars together. It was so fun to listen to them play off of each other because it was such a different flavor. I really, really enjoyed this. And I wrote this down. This is my favorite side project that Michael Sweet is involved in. Just because there's so much going on, and I feel like there's so much respect within the group of what's going on, because it's like, all right, you're doing your thing, and then I'm gonna do my thing, and we're playing. There's so much play off of the individual musicians, and it's like, he just did that. All right, cool. I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna do this, and it it's just so you can hear the collaborative stuff going on, and it's so much fun, and it's so interesting to me to listen to, because like I said before, it's like I was expecting some just old school, like Deep Purple, and I'm sorry, I'm never disrespect to Deep Purple, but some just old school, like 70s, old school rock BS. But every time I listen to this, I can hear like different pattern, especially with Marco Mendoza on bass. He's doing some crazy ish in the background, but it's forward in the mix, so you can actually hear it, which is awesome. Which doesn't happen a lot, unfortunately, for bass players. But and it not even on like there's I can't give you like individual songs. I think it spreads itself out throughout the entirety of the album, which is awesome. So props to the production team. But I mean, yeah, and I'm rambling like a mofo. But I mean, yeah, I mean that's just how I feel about it. I feel like this is a great record with the sum of its parts doing a great job of just, I mean, coming together and making some really kick-ass songs.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting that you said to me it's interesting that you said that this is your favorite Michael Sweet side project, because if you're a Striper fan, most people know him as the lead singer. They know him as the lead singer of Striper. He's been the lead singer on every single one of their albums. However, his sentiment over the year has kind of been, he considers himself a rhythm lead player on the guitar who just happens to sing. So, I mean, it's it's makes me wonder because he's playing the guitar and he is doing the background vocals. Is he having more fun with this?
Well, well, think about that statement. So he's got less to think about. So he can contribute to the vocal. He doesn't necessarily have to think, or he doesn't necessarily have to sing the vocal. He's also contributing to the production, and sure, he's going to probably be doing that, but he doesn't have to like do all of the heavy lifting, right?
Yeah.
But he can sprinkle his fairy dust and say, "Hey, man, what about this? What about this?" But he doesn't necessarily have to execute everything.
Because it probably, I would assume he, like his creative role in this album is different than what he does on a Striper album.
Heck
And
yeah.
and he's not having to worry about his vocals except on the background vocals. He focuses on, I mean, he's one of the producers on the album. Liner notes said that. He's one of the guitarists. He co-wrote 9 of the 11 songs, and he, I don't know. I mean, again, probably will never happen, but another band, now that they've got a couple of albums out, they could do a pretty decent set list from their discography if they ever toured. And I would just love to see him play the guitar.
Never gonna happen.
Well, I know it's not going to. Wishful thinking. Wishful thinking.
No, but I mean, just as an artist, it's like how how much weight comes off your shoulders when you don't absolutely have to do everything, you know? Because in Striper, I mean, of course, him and Oz are doing different things, but I mean, you
Well,
know,
you look at it this way. Look at it this way. Okay, I'm going to pull out When We Were Kings.
God, he's gonna start reading liner notes.
I mean, you look at this and you get to after the 11th song, all songs written by Michael Sweet. All 11 songs. No no co-writers, no anything, all written by him. You pull out Iconic, first song written by Michael Sweet, Aldo, Nathan James, Marco, and Joel Hoekstra. And next song, Collaboration. Next song, Collaboration, even though Michael Sweet's not on it. Collaboration, another collaboration, and guess what? A collaboration when it comes to writing the song. So you've got all those creative forces that are writing the songs on this. And I also haven't opened it yet, but I also, when I went ahead and got the CD, the
Nice.
album on CD when I did the pre-order. I ordered that, the t-shirt and the vinyl. And I guarantee you I open up, I'm probably going to find, why do they make CDs so hard to open up? I mean, it's like Fort Knox getting into these things. But what I was just going to say is, I'm sure if I looked at the liner notes on here, it would be the same thing. So I mean, I don't know. I mean, you've got this collaboration. You're feeding off of each other. It's just a different. I'm not taking away from what he does in Striper and what the other guys necessarily don't. Because I mean, Oz Fox has done some stuff in Striper and written some songs, but it primarily falls on the shoulders of Michael Sweet.
Yeah, but think about the experience you're drawing on in a band like Iconic too, and not taking a dang thing away from the guys in Striper, but you got some skins on the wall in a band like Iconic.
Yeah, I mean, collaboration on these songs too.
Well, I would hope so.
You know who's missing off of this album? The new one, when it came to the songwriting,
No,
was Alessandro Del Vecchio, who is apparently no longer part of the Frontiers group. His name was
he was
all
on the
over the
first.
CD.
He was
His
on the
name was
first.
all over the CD.
Hmm.
I mean, he did a lot of the co-writing of the songs, and he was the keyboardist and backing vocals. Now, this is some. You just look at this CD. That's some pretty cool design, if you can see that.
That is cool. Yeah, I think I'm not sure. I think that's one of their T-shirt designs that I've seen.
Yeah, because this is the cover of the of Iconic too, and my youngest son goes, "Why is the church on fire?"
Whoops!
I'm like, "It's not on fire. It's glowing. That's
It's
what it's doing. It's
it's glowing.
glowing."
Oh my goodness.
But no,
Yeah.
it's so. Tell me, I mean, what were some of your other takeaways on this album? I mean, oh, you said you were going to get into this later because I didn't hear it. But again, you listened to the album more than I did. How much? Because on the first album, there were a couple of songs where it would be Nathan James and then Michael Sweet would come in and sing. I didn't hear this time. Maybe I missed it, but I didn't hear it this time. I think it was all Nathan James being the lead singer, and then of course Michael Sweet would be on the backgrounds.
So the question is, did I hear Michael Sweet singing the lead?
Yeah, at all, because I didn't.
No, no, I agree with you. I didn't hear Mike singing much lead at all. There was a little pass off. There's some weird stuff. There was guitar pass offs and vocal pass offs on this. It was really cool. But yeah, Nathan James was controlling this thing for sure. But yeah, there were some really nice like 3 parts and 2-part harmonies on this thing that, I mean, but the production on this thing was so locked in on the guitars and on the harmonies because it wasn't overproduced, but it was like it it was just real. They knew what they were looking for, and it wasn't too much, but some of the things that they were doing with between Hoekstra and Michael were like, I loved some of the pass offs that they were doing when they did like, okay, 8 bars of, okay, we're gonna play together, and then you're gonna do your thing. They did the same thing vocally on a couple of things, and I don't know, it felt really playful in a few places, and but yeah, it was like no, Mike wasn't doing a lot of the leads. Yeah, Nathan James and once you said he was like 30 something years old, I was like, holy crap, dude. This guy he's gonna be around for a minute. So yeah, I'm down for it. Yeah. And I I was really, the more I listened to it, Marco Mendoza, I don't know, I didn't look up his age, but
From what I see, so what you got, you said earlier, Tommy Aldridge is 75,
yeah, he's
Michael
old as
Sweet, Michael Sweet is 63, Marco Mendoza is 63,
dang.
Joel Hoekstra is 55, and then
Yeah,
Nathan James, I think it said he was 38. But when you look at Marco Mendoza, I mean, the people that he's collaborated with over his
everybody.
career, I
Yeah.
mean, you've got names like Tommy Shaw, Thin Lizzy, David Coverdale, Ted Nugent, White Snake, Lynch Mob,
Blue Murder. Yeah, no Sean. Yeah, he's been all over the place.
tribute albums. Oh, he was on a tribute album to Van Halen. He was on a tribute album to Metallica.
Yeah, he's done a lot. He's done a lot of stuff. So
And
yeah.
he's done a few solo albums as well.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, the more I listened to it, I my ear was kind of pushing toward what he was doing, and his finger techniques are, golly, man, he is really talented. But and it's also a testament to how this album was produced because you can hear all the stuff that he's doing, which is not always the case. So that was cool because I could hear all the cool crap that he was doing. So yeah, that was really nice. But I mean, yeah. No, I mean, I know we've been gushing all over this freaking thing, but I don't have a lot of bad things to say about this record. That you know,
No. I mean, it was a good I mean, it's a good album. I mean, so picking it apart, you like this one more or do you like the first album more?
no, this one by far. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it it reminded me of just Striper with some White Snake, and I was trying to figure out who who the vocalist reminded me of, and I couldn't quite pin it down. So I'm gonna have to listen to it again until I figure that part out. So, but I the musical components, excuse me, the musical components was definitely Striper and White Snake, and then now I got to figure out the vocal part.
Yep.
So,
Yeah. Yeah, it's I think I just like them as a band. I mean, I
I,
really do.
dude, I mean, how could you not? You've got like decades of experience on this
They're
freaking thing.
loud and they're metal. You know, you
Whatever.
got
Go. Nope. Not gonna curse. Not gonna curse.
too late for that, man. I got to go edit a few things already. No, just kidding.
Wait, I didn't curse yet.
Yes, you did.
Did I? I, for, I forget sometimes.
It's all right. It's all
Yeah. So
right.
yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, I think they're I, this. I mean this is a freaking insane. It's a super group. I mean, of course, aside from nobody knows who Nathan James is, but I mean, yeah. I mean, this is a super group, and they sound like one. So this this second release is, I think it's really really amazing. So
Yeah,
I had
it
a
really is. It really is. And
nobody's gonna hear it, and they're not gonna go on tour, and that freaking sucks. And I hate when these freaking bands get together and do these amazing albums, and then we never get to see anything.
I mean, you just look at Michael Sweet's side projects. I mean, Sweet and Lynch never toured. Iconic hasn't toured. Soul
XM's
Driver,
never toured. There's I could, dude, I got a list as long as my arm. But yeah,
I know. I mean, just focusing on the stuff that Michael Sweet does, since we're quote a unaffiliated Striper podcast. Not affiliated with the band. If you're listening to the first time, but hey, I do want to say that again. Don't forget to check out our friends over at
yes, yes.
Rock and Metal Faith, Aaron and Chris. They had us on again a couple of weeks ago, and that they dropped that podcast last week. I think it was last week. So, I mean, yeah, go listen to the one that we're on, but just listen to them in general. I mean, they're good guys. They've got a lot of knowledge just about the metal industry within the Christian community. They get
Yeah,
they
they
get
do.
some they get some good guests on, man. I need to start sending out some requests for guests.
They go deep. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, they definitely go deep. So make sure you check out and listen to them. And we're going to have them on September 5th. I'm not going to tell you what we're talking about yet. I mean, Daryl knows, but I'm not going to tell you guys because it's going to be a lot of fun talking about what we're going to be talking about that particular day when they come on.
Bring your lunch.
Yeah, something that we've been wanting to talk about for a while. But yeah, make sure you go check them out. They are
We got a
good guys, and they are north of the border.
Yeah, we got a couple. Actually, we got a couple guests that we're trying to get in the canon here soon. So
I know. Yeah, we need to sync up on that because I know you said you had one person that wanted to get on. So we need to make sure that we square that one away. And I'm going to go ahead and throw this out there, Daryl. I mentioned it to you via text message, but man, my upcoming weekend going into my work week next week is just going to be so crazy. We might just drop in. I'm just spitballing here. I'm not saying this is what's going to happen because I don't know exactly what my time's going to look like. I've got a wedding to go to this weekend, and then right after the wedding, I'm hopping on a plane to go to Chicago for an annual meeting with the company I work for. So it's going to be a busy weekend starting Friday through next Thursday. So we'll at least find some time to jump on and say hi, even if it's just a quick hello. but it might be a couple of weeks before we're back doing a full-fledged pod just because of my travel schedule this upcoming weekend. But wanted to let you guys know what's happening if we just do a quick update next week.
I can carry the flower if you want to.
Well, you got your rock hot takes going on, man. How's that going?
This is true. We're still doing the rock hot takes. I got 4 in the can and got to figure out the Wednesday pod. So yeah, there's going to be some hot takes next week.
Nice.
Me and Jarvis been talking about some things, so yeah. So, but yeah, it's fun. Been doing some things, so yeah, rock hot takes, and then yeah, we got a full episode dropping on Wednesday, and then but yeah, the little reels drop every day on. Well, the little reels drop every day, so yeah.
That's AI, man. It's AI. I don't like it.
It's
AI.
my face and my voice and my edits, so not cursing. Anyway, it's pretty much me.
Yeah. So again, rock hot takes. Find them on. You can find Daryl on Facebook and YouTube, and
You can find me everywhere. Yeah,
you can find him everywhere. So make sure you go grab and follow him on Rock Hot Takes. But no, I mean, iconic. Another good album. Another great side
really
project from Michael Sweet. And I've enjoyed listening to it. I want to listen to it some more. Because I've actually been, I don't know, I've been kind of in a, I don't want to say a different vibe, but I've been in a different vibe of music.
you know, listen too much Chicago.
I know. I mean, speaking of that,
you need to get back in a metal vibe, sir.
Pick this one up.
Yeah, I need to get back into a metal vibe.
And, but you know, I mean, you know what's been going on with me personally. It's like, man, sometimes I start getting in the metal and I start getting a little stressed out. I'm like, God, I need to calm down. So, but that's all okay. But no, I enjoyed listening to this album. You know, it was like,
yeah, dude, it's awesome. I mean, it really is. It's got a. Here's the other thing that I was thinking about. It's got a nice balance, and I talk about. All right, nerd. It's got a nice sequence to it. It's like it, and this is not like there's not a lot of ballady stuff on here, but
no, there was. That's what I was going to say. I mean, and I don't even know if you would call it a ballad, but probably the slowest song on there is Heart of Stone. Probably the last song on the album.
Yeah, but they do a good job of like, there's some heavy songs on here, but they do a good job of balancing like the mid tempos. Yeah.
Yeah. This is the last song on the album.
Yeah, they do a good job of sequencing like the hard stuff between like the mid tempo stuff.
Yeah.
So that was a good thing. When I was listening to this, I was like, all right, it's a good job of pacing this thing. So that was another thing.
Listening to his voice. His voice is just incredible at the beginning of this song. You can get lost in that. But it starts off slow, but the guitar picks up and goes into it. You know.
Right.
But it's slower than some of the other songs, though, is what I was saying. It's not a true ballad.
Right. It's not a banger, but it's a mid. It reminds me of a Whitesnate song.
Yeah, I was about to say, I mean, when I heard this, that's exactly what I was saying. 87 Whitesnake.
I can't remember the name of that song.
Oh, I know which one you're talking about.
Dang it, what's the name of that song? Oh, well, whatever.
I got, Daryl, one last thing.
Okay.
I'll show you the other one I picked up, of course. Reckless. Pick that one up.
Surprised you don't have that one already.
Well, no, this is like...
Oh, this is the twofold.
Yeah, this is the twofold, because what he did was he re-released it when he did it on vinyl. He threw some tracks on here that would have been on this album, but didn't, just because of space and time. And then he threw, because I mean, just knowledge on this one. Remember the song "Teacher, Teacher" by 38 Special for the movie Teachers?
Yeah.
Yeah, Brian Adams was the one who wrote that song.
Teacher, teacher.
And the Pete Townsend song, Let Me Down, or no, it was that the Roger Daltrey song. One of the Who guys, Let Me Down Easy.
Nope, don't have that one.
That was another 80s song that Adams wrote. So he's got his, yeah, I want to, I think
He's
it was
written a
Roger
million
Daltrey.
freaking songs, dude.
Yeah, I know. I
Wow.
want now it's got me, Let Me Down Easy.
Now we gotta
Yeah,
look it up.
Yeah, it's Roger Daltrey, Let Me Down Easy. And he put his version on that. So I had fun. It was just like I get
What
lost.
store did you go to?
Do you know in Athens there is a burger joint called Clocked?
Yes.
Right next to Clocked, there's a record store.
Okay, I know exactly what you're talking about.
So I went and ordered lunch because we took it over to somebody's house to eat. Well, we took it over to my family, my son's house, because when you have a child that's under 1, it's easier to bring food than to try to gather a baby under 1 years old and go out. So we went over there. So while I was waiting on the food to be cooked, I went next door to the record store and found a few albums for myself. So,
Nice. Good
and then
call.
I told them it was my birthday, and they actually gave me a discount.
Nice. All
Yeah,
right.
over 10% off, man. I loved it.
So do we have any closing thoughts on Iconic 2?
Man, I would say for me, it's a fun listen.
I would say for me, I was very pleasantly surprised because it brought out like the 87, 86 kind of like when was really digging, like when metal was like really fucking good.
Yes.
And
Before it got oversaturated in the late 80s.
Yes.
And after it came out of its early 80s, like stuff.
Yeah, when it was really good and it was, like you said, before we got oversaturated and started really sucking. And there's so much experience in this lineup. And I'm just like, yeah, y'all can do all that stuff. And like I say, the more I listened to it, the more I was like, oh yeah, this guy, I know that he can do this stuff because I've been listening to him for 40 freaking years. And it was just, it was really, it was really pleasant. And I don't know, I don't have enough, I don't know if I have enough words because every person on this roster, I've been listening. God bless, dude. I'm about to say this. Pretty much every person on this roster, aside from the singer, I've been listening to pretty much my entire life. So that's weird, but yeah, I really love this record, and I don't have a lot of bad things to say about it. So yeah,
I mean it really, if you like that mid to 86, 87, 88, 80s vibe of rock, you'll like this album in my opinion.
It's the elevated version of that though. It's not the version of that.
Oh yeah. That's what I meant. It's the elevated version of it. Exactly.
I mean, it's if you're it's the 87 Whitesnake version of that. It's not like the I don't want to talk ish about anybody else, but like this is like the best version of that era of, we call it hair metal. I don't know. It's just really good. Go freaking listen to it.
Yeah. Go listen to it, and go listen to the first one if you haven't listened to it.
Yeah, they're both good. This one, I think this one's better, but they're both good.
Yeah, I would agree. So, parting thoughts on Iconic, and it's just called Iconic 2. There's no, because it's kind of funny because the first album is called Second Skin. This is called 2. So for somebody that just goes to that looks at the albums online or goes to a store and happens to see it, and Daryl just knocked his microphone over. Somebody that goes to a record store and picks them up, you might look at it and go, which one came first, Second Skin or 2? I'm a little confused here. Don't know. Better buy both of them then. Maybe that's their marketing ploy.
That's
You
what
know,
you
put
should do.
the
Buy both of them.
yeah, just buy both of them like I did. But no. So, but no, go back, go out, listen to it, and Iconic too. It's definitely a fun one to listen to musically, harmonies, just everything. I like I said earlier, I lean on the tech stuff with Daryl. I'll tell you I like it. I'll tell you the songs that I like, but Daryl can really tell you about what they're doing in the stuff. So it's definitely a fun listen. But yeah, episode 42, a wrap. We've been at this for almost a year, man.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
Goodness gracious. Well,
we've been at this for
hey,
almost a year.
it's it's been fun, dude. I still
Yeah, it
hey,
has been. And we're not slowing down. I know we slowed down for a little bit, but that's just because I had some personal stuff going on that was pretty
well, we
tough
both have
dealing with. But,
we both
you know,
have BS going on, so but hey, yeah,
we're still
no,
here. We're still kicking. We're still going.
yeah, so yeah, it's always fun. So if we have
Yes,
some
it is.
hiccups, we have some hiccups. So whatever.
Yes, that's okay. Everybody in life does, but we just keep going.
Right, right.
All right, guys. Episode 42, To Hell with the Podcast. Find us YouTube, Facebook, Instagram,
TikTok, Rumble.
Rumble. Now I need to get it set up because when our podcast software did this update, now I can push it to Amazon Music.
I
So
think I
now
need
I
to
can
get. I think I need to get Jarvis involved.
And so now I can push it to Amazon Music as well as a couple of other things that we didn't have access to before. So
Okay.
we'll be in more places moving forward. But if you like it, let us know. And if you listen to the Iconic album, let us know what you think. But we appreciate it, guys. Love you, and we'll see you next time right here on To Hell
Yes.
with
Yes, sir. Love you guys.